All right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a VGC video podcast where I go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host Adi. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. We got a big episode, and only 2 weeks before the North American International Championships. It is coming up fast.
Mm-hmm. And we got our last little snapshot this past weekend in Bologna, as well as Hong Kong. We'll be talking about all that this episode. But our other guests did well at Bologna. We have Ruben here who got second. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. This is my first time here, but I'm doing pretty well. I'm just a bit tired after this very intense weekend, but well, I'm really satisfied about my result, and I'm happy that you decided to choose me as your guest today.
Honored to have you. Honored to have you. And again, congrats. And then we also have Victor here. How are you doing? Yep.
Hello, doing good, doing great. Always good to be here and excited because today's going to be a good top episode talking about
Yes.
the meta for NASC. Ooh,
Yeah.
so it's
I
going to be
mean,
it's going to be good.
after a European tournament, it always shakes it up so drastically. So drastically. So, jokes
Who
aside.
could have seen this coming?
An event hosted in Italy, won by Shadowrunners Amazenta. Crazy. Anyways,
Yeah.
though, um, we'll get into that shortly. I actually put that towards the end, but the topics we have before that are somewhat quicker ones. We're going to be talking about Hong Kong. We're going to be talking about the battle stadium results and stuff like that. And if you have any questions for our guests here, make sure to drop them in the chat. We'll be following along. And if you're here now, but you won't be around for the whole episode, or you'd rather watch this on YouTube, we do post this a day later over there. So make sure to check us out on YouTube, !YT in the chat.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe because we have some cool content coming out. In particular, I've got team reports with Gavin coming out real soon. We recorded that one already. And who of course, won Portland Regionals. And I've also got one with Bingji scheduled. So we're going to hopefully record this weekend. And we can get that one out too because he's always one of my favorite team builders. And it was super cool to see him get a Worlds invite, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
100%. So, starting off here, the first topic of the day is Battle Stadium results. Now, we don't have a ton of them. It seems like, a lot of players hiding their stuff. Funnily enough, this year, one of the first times in a long time that Japan Nats is after NAIC. So it's actually a little bit further out. It is, I guess, 3 weeks away, as we're saying NAIC is 2. So that means a lot of Japanese players, they're still holding their stuff, keeping it close to the chest because they might be using something similar at the tournament. Now, of course, everybody that's going to Japan Nats is already qualified for Worlds, but they want to do the best they can, not just for the glory and whatnot, but also the travel awards and such, making it easier for them to get over to Anaheim. But yeah, it was ended up.
Means that.
Go ahead, Ruben.
Sorry, it also means that people going to NASC cannot steal teams from them.
100%. Absolutely. It's
For sure.
literally a major factor every year that,
Yeah.
I don't know, but this time it'll be different.
Like NASC has been known for stealing we steal the ideas from Japan Nats and then we try to make it work. Literally.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's going to shake up things a bit, I think.
Right. I mean, we see Elizabeth here second, and I know that you used an Elizabeth team earlier back in Reg H to great success. And so it's just like an example of players adapting Japanese style teams to the open team sheet best of 3 setting and just doing really, really well with them. So it will definitely be a missed aspect, but I guess we'll kind of get to see it in the reverse. I'm still going to be very excited to watch it afterwards. Of course, this is a much later topic, Japan Nats, because we'll be coming to that in 2 weeks anyways. In 3, I guess. So anyways, Elizabeth got second, who is frequently up here at the top. Suika won the whole thing. I mean, not like it was a tournament, but, ended up playing first at the end of the season. And yeah, I think Suika's just kind of goated. I don't know. At this point, I think 3 firsts. Is it 3 firsts in the BFL? I can't remember.
2 first, 1 second, I think.
Oh, only 2 first, 1 second. Yes.
Yeah.
Missing that 10 points.
Well, no. three first, 1 second, I think.
Yeah, isn't
If
it?
I'm,
I thought it
if I'm
was.
not mistaken.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah, it was
Sorry.
three times first and 2 in a row first.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
then the
So
second
silly.
one, yeah, I remember. Yes, it was
Such.
one first in Reg H with that Mousep team, and then 2 times first with Mirad on screens.
I'm guessing Joji just got bored because there was no you know global or grand challenge coming up and was like, well, I gotta win something else. I gotta continue my best of one grind. And that's I mean, damn respectable. In terms of the other teams here, I mean, Huyubare definitely a username that many should recognize, but the team, I mean, it's different technically. Usually it's a Whimsicott
Yeah.
instead of a Torn. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
actually team info on this one. Oh, there is.
Oh,
Uh, but
Yeah, also
yeah,
Sash is Sash of Sheffield.
yeah, Sash is different there as well. And it's discharge. I don't know. Not all of them run. Some of them run the
Ooh.
ghost discharge, but yeah.
Yeah,
Discharge is
Anyways,
interesting.
Campo was using
right.
Terragosta discharge at the start of the format, but then changed it to the Fairy Terra Gleam.
Dang it, I always forget if it's the blue or the white. That's not the click they add. Lost the 50/50. And then this one, obviously, it's just breaking out everywhere. I actually can't remember if this is the
Yeah.
original creator of
Uh,
this.
Yes, it is
This person.
the original creator. It was the guy who picked the best of one ladder at 2000
Yeah.
GXC. Yeah, so it's 2000 heroes,
2000
sorry.
GXE is pretty high. Honestly, I'm usually
Yeah.
like I'm hoping to break 80. 2000 is another level. Um Jokes aside though.
Yeah.
Um dude, it's
So
so funny cuz
I
like
also copied the team from them. Well,
yes. Yeah, I'm definitely they had a lot of impact.
the factor of stealing Japanese teams is always important.
For
No, I
sure.
mean I've done it
For sure.
before. Adi, I'm sure you can think of a time that you've done something similar as well. So no, you think you've
never,
never?
never,
Okay.
never once.
Really?
He's
No, I
pure.
probably have. I definitely have. In fact, we're gonna scroll down and we're gonna see a team that I've already tested and tried out.
Oh wait, is it the two that look the exact same? Because I've got nothing to say about them. I'll be honest.
No.
Um,
It's the one with the team
although
report. We'll get to it.
this was hilarious. If you want an example of the impact, Anya here, who I believe won Japan Nats last year, right? Or were they second Japan Nats last year?
Yeah.
They won. Okay.
Yeah, Anya won.
They won.
I saw the team posted on Twitter, and then like it was like posted, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. I queue up a best of 3 on the Showdown ladder, instantly queue into it. It's just like, all right, people don't even waste a second
Yeah,
loading this up.
that happened also last year when Anya won Nats.
Oh yeah,
Like the team was
100%.
popping out everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't see this combination a ton. I know that we did see it in Utrecht, right? And maybe again this weekend. I
Yeah,
don't know if anybody continued to use it.
Vico used it. No, the team was originally built by Giulio Tarlao and
Yes.
used it in Utrecht. He went to 4-4 and his friend Musico, who picked up the team like the day before the tournament, if I remember correctly, did the top 16,
It's a
and then
curse.
in Bologna they updated the team and replaced the Calyrex Ice with the better horse.
Well,
Maintaining the Porygon 2 core, but with
I did
Calyrex
see
Shadow.
that. I did see that. We'll definitely get into that in a
oh,
bit.
okay.
Yeah.
I saw Giuseppe drop the team altogether. He caught with CSR Zama, but I didn't realize that people were running a variant of this team as well. I did see the Porygon 2. I saw Alessio run a Porygon 2.
Yes.
That was on the original team. It's not on this team. Okay, we're just going all over the place now.
Yes.
But yeah, it is cool to see. I've been saying this for a little bit. I think that Pagos is there's no way that there's only one way to build it. And the fact that everyone like CSR makes a lot of sense with it, but I'm not surprised that people are experimenting other builds because it's very easy to target down that one build. And so another Pagos team that has different tools around it that you have to contest differently probably does have a lot of strength in the metagame right now. I wouldn't be shocked to see it do well at, for example, the North American Championships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, we'll get into some alternative Pagos builds later as well from what we saw in Bologna. But this one's fun because it's doing something that we haven't really seen break out at a big tournament yet. I know that some people have messed around with it. I know Marco was like streaming with it and doing really well with it, but Marco Fierro, that is. But yeah, double bike is really cool. It's fun. Like it definitely has some weaknesses that you really have to work to overcome. But that said, it is a very strong archetype. They're not a it's a strong enough archetype that will definitely catch your opponents off guard because they're not ready for something like this.
I think like this archetype started like as a meme with like crazy multipliers in Raging Bolt.
Right.
I feel because you put like the two multipliers with the terrain and the weather and everything. But honestly, I think it hasn't been explored at all. I think maybe it has some potential, but like with other like Raging Bolt doesn't make sense. Like it has the same typing as Miraidon, but with other mons, maybe it has a little bit of potential. I'm not a fan, but maybe something.
Right.
I don't know because Marco was streaming a double bike, but it was like some kind of Zach from content, you know.
Yeah.
It was also memeing with Zach from in Regulation G. Uh, but well, I don't know if it actually has a synergy because Miraidon is usually some mon that you want to pair with the versatile mons. So we have seen it with tail room teams that have many different options, both offensive and defensive. And I think this team probably doesn't use Miraidon at its full potential because having you have two restricted that are basically on sort of hyper carry usually, because with Miraidon teams your primary defensive offensive option is Miraidon, and it's the same for Coraidon teams. So you're probably using a team that has two restricted, but you're basically playing single restricted. You're basically playing Regulation G if you use two Ubers that want to be centered because that you want to center the game around your Ubers when you use Coraidon and Miraidon. Because Miraidon's best companions are, for example, Lunala and Kali Ice that can be a sort of alternative win condition. And so they are the best because they also work as an alternative option with Trick Room, and I don't think it has Coraidon has the same versatility as those two.
Right. Trick Room absolutely looks scary when both of your restricteds are at 135 speed, and you've also got a Flutter Mane, so I get that 100%. And yeah, it could also very well just be a best of one thing. You know, some teams do translate over, some of them don't. That's the truth of it. Let's see here. Anything else that was posted that was cool? Yeah, this was a bummer to see. This one was hard to look at because I can't believe. No, these tweets are protected. You're right. They're protected. You're right because otherwise you're gonna have people coming for you.
Yeah, fortunately we cannot look at that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want to look at it anymore. Anyways. Okay. Yeah, the rest of these.
Zamazenta Miraidon is interesting.
Yeah, I would say I agree. I think that it's a really cool.
Yeah, we
Go
only
ahead.
saw it at Utrecht, which was played by Hoyt.
Right.
And, well, by Joeox, right? Joeox with Ball Corona and
Yeah, Joe as well. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And then
and this combo actually also won Hong Kong Nationals that we'll get to in a little bit.
Spoilers! Oh my god, I didn't look
True,
yet.
true.
But with a very different team, so it's cool to see that there are a few different variants of it that are floating around. And I think this one obviously we don't know the sets or anything like that, but this one is constructed pretty differently. The other ones have all kind of looked like they took Joe's Reg G team and they slapped Jose Mazenta on it.
Yeah.
Which
Mhm.
like, and I don't like. I think that's fine in the early metagame, but I think that like when you can really reinvent a core to the strengths of both the Pokemon, that is where it can really shine. And so I'm very curious what they rate on this because to me this looks like a very different way of playing the team and potentially a very strong way of playing the team. All these Pokemon are obviously very good.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I'm
This
looking
looks
at it
like
and I
more.
see. I was gonna say
This
I'm
looks
looking at
like
this and I see Rajan's team from Indianapolis last year. I know that it's only 4 of the same 6 Pokemon, and we're quite a ways away from that one, so maybe some very different inspirations. But he was using Inzin, Rock Pond, Wims, was he not, with Miraidon, like these 4 here? So
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting because when I look at this team, I see I actually see
yes,
Rinya's son.
yeah. I mean, in a way, it definitely has a bit of a Rinya Sun flavor to it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really get this. Like,
Okay, sorry, Victor. Would you say it looks more like chalk or Big Six?
I I
By
don't
the
know.
way,
When I see this
if
team,
it's
I'm
you go
thinking
ahead.
of like I'm thinking of Hoich, honestly, like with a tailwind mode and like playing with Tama, trade mode with like Chempa. I don't
yeah, I
So
know.
mean, this is a pretty aggressive version of the team rather than the screens version.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I'm
I
I'm
agree with
thinking
that.
more at Hoich.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Adi
like,
is joking. He was just saying that
Yeah,
all teams look the
for
same.
sure.
Is what he's trying to say.
Okay.
um,
Okay,
um,
okay.
it's definitely not like Rinya Sun. I mean, you could really try to make it work, but
Yeah.
okay. So more Rhyperior usage, which is
That's
definitely
crazy.
funny.
what's
I,
the
That's
deal
cr-
with Rhyperior? I
no.
saw it used by other players,
I
but I don't
think
know if that's.
Adi should have the answer to this one, hopefully, because you used Rhydon, so at the very least, maybe you
Yeah.
know what you're leaving
Uh,
Ah,
behind.
well,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know.
Latvia, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know why you use Rhyperior over Rhydon. This was a Saltfest on this team, and I really just think Rhydon is better. It just has more stats. Um, but I think the idea is if you have Terra Fairy, then you can kind of have Terra Fairy and you have Wide Guard on Zamazenta, then you kind of just wall the opposing Miraidon. They cannot hit you at all. And combine that with the fact that it's generally quite good into Miraidon's partners. It's really good into Ho-Oh. It's really good into Calyrex Ice with its massive physical defense stat. And it hits super effectively with Stone Edge or Rock Slide or whatever. It's good into some of the partners that people often use on those teams. Like Volcarona is very common on Miraidon teams, and it's very good into that. We saw Zamazenta, right? You could potentially it's not great into Zamazenta, but you're not taking much from a heavy slam. Like you're playing pretty neutrally into it if you
Mhm.
Terra. And so it has a lot of tools into a lot of the common Miraidon partners, and also Walls Miraidon, and that makes it like the one-stop shop to beat Miraidon.
Yeah,
I
but
Mhm.
think it's
even
really good. I beat all the Miraidon I played at Portland when I was using Rhydon. I said this on the top takes a couple of weeks ago, so I was really impressed by it. And it's cool to see other people using it because I really do think it's quite strong.
Mhm.
As an
yeah, but like,
European, yeah.
to be honest, well, I think that it should run a ground move if it wants to be good into Zamazenta as well,
Were
because
they not running a
otherwise,
ground move on it?
They may not
it
have been.
just loses the 1 versus 1, and also, why
It
does it have
doesn't
a
have
dark
one.
move?
Yeah.
It looks like
Why
So
does
I
it
think
have
Terrablox.
a
it's
dark
different.
move, guys?
It might be different. That might be
It's
Terra
just crunch,
Blast.
right? It's got to be
I think it's
crunch.
Ice Punch. It's Crunch. It's Crunch.
I'm so
Um,
glad that the global challenges are over because I don't want to lose it to
Yeah.
Crunch
For sure.
Period with Calyrex.
I
It could
cannot imagine Ice Punch being more important than the ground move, but what do I know?
Yeah.
nothing. You know nothing.
You
Um.
were saying, Victor? Go
No,
on.
as an European, I'm never going to understand Rhydon, and and in a team with Indeedee, I understand it even less, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
right. That's
but
true. You
I,
do
I, I
already have.
respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, that's true.
me too. But when testing for Bologna, I lost it to ride on ladder, so I respect it.
Hmm.
Really? Oh. Okay.
Oh, what is this one, Audie, that you linked? Should I grab this open now? I
Yeah,
missed it.
yeah.
What
If
is it
we're
called?
if we're moving on after this, we should talk
This is
about.
actually we are done talking about this one. So what is next? Yeah.
Okay, we should talk about Korean Nationals, which we didn't realize was happening, but is happening this weekend,
Okay.
and will be streamed. So this is
Oh,
the
nice.
Korean Trainers Cup finals, I guess.
Dude.
There are 32 players, I think, which is really nice because it used to be it used to be like top 4 were in the live stage, and now it's or top 8 or something like that, and now they've expanded it to top 32, which I think a lot of the Korean players were really fighting for. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be so. A couple big things. One is that I don't know if juniors and seniors were different, were separated. I know in some of the other Asian nationals, juniors and seniors have to play in the same tournament as masters to qualify for worlds, which is very crazy and disappointing. But in this case, they're going to have a separate stream for juniors and seniors. And it looks like the Masters is all on Sunday, if what the website says is correct. But yeah, this is going to be streamed. You can watch it live on YouTube, which will be cool. And we talked about how Japan Nationals always impacts the metagame for NAIC. Let's see if Korean Nationals can do it. I think in the past, Korea, there was a period of time in between like Sejin and quite recently where Korea was a pretty weak region. It wasn't getting results. But in the last couple of years, we saw Neon get top 4 at Worlds last year. We saw Suyu is a player who made day 2 Worlds, is really up and coming. I know they had a really great NPA season, and I think Minjun is a player that was hyped up in chat as someone who I think got 3rd at the World Championships as a senior, and I think this year has aged up to Masters, and so is someone I think people are looking out for as well.
Yes, I'm looking up to Minion so much. I feel he won an Victory Road tournament, and he's a player that I really think is going to do a great result here. He's also Victor Medina VGC in Showdown. So
that's not you.
so
What?
yeah, no, it's Minjun. And I was laddering for Worlds, and I faced him, and I was like, who am I facing? He's so cool. I'm hoping, I'm rooting for him so much, and I think the community in general in Korea has grown up like so much these last few years, and I hope like they keep making like these top 32 live events or even more players, and like they streaming it is a great step in the right direction, but still a long way to go.
I agree.
But yeah.
That is.
I think
It is going to be
there are
exciting to
so
watch.
many good players.
It's going to be very exciting to watch, and I know as soon as Adi mentioned that it was happening before NAIC, I saw you like rub your hands together. You were like, "Ooh, okay, I got a team to steal. I got a tournament to look at." Okay. I'm kidding.
For real.
So yeah, definitely.
The other fun part about this tournament is it's double elimination, and of the 32 players, 16 of them will get invites to the World Championships.
Sheesh.
So you got to go 2-1 in your first 3 sets to make it to Worlds.
2-1. Can't, but it's going to be tight competition because it is just the 32 best basically. So, upper half, make it happen. But yeah, I realized that I forgot to do one team from the ladder. It didn't get top 30, so that's why it didn't get mentioned. But just wait till you see it because I saw it in it was like a different link that had articles, team reports, and they used Scraggy and Centrit, which is just amazing. I've seen both of these used in the past in VGC context. Go ahead.
Bro, Centrit kills CSR with knockoff in 1 hit.
Torviv, you know.
Yes. It's just focus Calyrex.
Okay, save that for later because I don't believe it. For Calc is right. You should have surprised us with that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know that there was another Japanese guy who was playing Centret in Regulation G, and he showed a video where knockoff KO'd CSR.
That's
and also,
awesome.
Fedecampo tried it on stream and killed another CSR with knockoff.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's crazy.
It occurs, at least, I mean, probably the bulkless one, maybe the bulky ones that leave Surgeon Strikes in Rain probably survives a knockoff, but the Bulkless one should always be KO'd in 1 hit. Also, Scraggy was used in the
Yes.
World Championship in
Oh,
Honolulu.
right.
It was the guy who used
Yeah.
it was called Logan. I don't remember his last name, but well, that guy brought Scraggy to Worlds. Oh well, I respect him.
We saw
And
Scraggy
also,
just a couple of weeks ago, right? It was in
he got second. He got second in
second.
the
Was it? I think
Thailand.
it was Taiwan.
Was that?
Was it Thailand or Taiwan?
Oh,
I'm getting them mixed up, but I think it was
yeah,
Taiwan.
yeah.
It was Thailand.
It was. I don't know. I can't remember.
really second in Thailand?
Yeah, it was.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
it was.
it's like Incineroar, but with coaching. It's like
Enchanters
it-
in Philippines.
it's epic.
Was it? Oh, was it in
Like
Philippines?
who needs
Okay.
Incineroar?
Yeah, like, and the team didn't have Incineroar. It was like, what are we
So
doing here?
this was just like Yeoman's team with
Yep.
Scraggy
Yeah.
over Instant.
Scraggy
Literally.
is
Yeah, it was
so.
Thailand. It was Thailand.
It's so sick, and I think it might be a very
Well, they
similar
got the good
set here.
results,
Looking at this
so
one, I feel like that's coaching. Actually, I know that's
yeah,
coaching because that says coach.
uh,
But yes, it was just hilarious to see these two mons together. I haven't seen Centrit really. I mean, I know that maybe some people were messing with it in G. The one that I thought of was actually a much older example, but Duck Pond was using like my 2019 hard trick room team back in I guess back in 2019 with a Centrit replacing
that's
something. I can't
true.
remember what he
That's
replaced,
true.
but Centrit it was just based.
Also, it remembered me of Solaces used by Yarash.
Oh, Solosis,
Oh.
yes. I do remember
but
that
like,
now.
Centrit, it's because Follow Me, right? Or
Yeah,
or
yes.
Follow
Follow
Me
me.
and
Endeavor.
Barrage Immunity, I guess.
Okay,
And
okay,
also
okay.
kills Calyrex without nobody expecting it.
Okay. I kind of understand now. Okay.
Yes. It's based. It's very based. So our
And
It
it's
next
also
is.
Endeavor. It's also for Endeavor
Oh,
because
Endeavor. I
yeah.
yeah,
thought
it has
Super
the
Farm.
Sash plus Endeavor. It's sort of with
Oh,
Cicada, but it's also already
oh, yeah.
They
It has
both
the
have it.
same move as as a Scraggy.
Yes,
Yeah.
they both
Okay.
have it. Easy way to put it together. Some it's a good test taking skill. Anyways, yeah, so the next thing here is a very minor one. I thought I would mention it briefly just because a bunch of people were hyping it up. I personally am not actually that excited, but I also don't have a Switch 2 lined up or anything. But yeah, the Switch 2 update had like a little trailer showing what the game looks like. Coming like with the updated graphics and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on it, Adi?
Yeah, but I mean,
Ruben, go ahead.
the comment says, it's just the resolution. So like the textures are the same. It doesn't really change how the environment and the cities are developed, which is one of the biggest flaws of Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion. So
Right.
well, I'm not really excited for that personally.
No, I
I'm
would agree. Go ahead, Victor.
I am a bit excited because we can't play with the Switch 2, for example, in Worlds, I think. But I am a bit
Yeah,
excited
okay.
because I do think that the Switch on stream could be the Switch 2, so we could have better quality on stream, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that could
I
happen.
hope. I mainly hope that disconnections don't happen less.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
So
true.
That could be also another factor.
so if we have like better quality on stream, less disconnections, at least on stream, that could be something.
I'd be happy with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'd take that. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
just hope
Yeah.
Champions comes out soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I would be shocked if Worlds did not allow to switch to. We'll see. Obviously, don't transfer your data over because NAIC will not allow it, and we don't have any confirmation. But Worlds is like a huge marketing event, right, for Nintendo and for Pokemon. So I got to imagine they're going to do everything in their power to make it work. I agree, though. In terms of the update for Scarlet and Violet, don't forget to update your games before NAIC because you have to do that. Other than that, like, I don't know. I'm not. It's
Right.
just like, yeah, it's just like a slightly better image. Like I'm not really playing Pokemon because of the picture quality. I could play any
I
other
agree.
video game if I wanted
I-
like high quality graphics.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but I think the problem are the textures and not the resolution, so it doesn't really fix the visuals for Scarlet and Violet.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree 100%. So, next up, let's talk about Hong Kong finally here, because this actually will kind of tie into what we were looking at earlier with Zamazenta and Miraidon, which, by the way, if anybody has a good name for this one, I was trying really hard the other day with ESM, and we could not come up with anything good. I had, like, Force Field, but, like, that's just... It still doesn't really tell you what the archetype is. Like, if I said, guess what archetype Force Field is, I don't think you guys would get it, so... there's nothing good for this
Wait,
one.
It's Shock Dog.
Shock Dog, yeah, it
no.
could be either dog though.
That sounds
yeah.
that sounds like Seishan Miraidon.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like
Shield Shock.
Volcarona plus Zamazenta could be like a hot dog, but well, that was for VGC 2022.
Right.
So
Yeah, we used that one in 2022. We gotta no, it's something like Shell Shock or something like that. That's Terapagos.
Ooh.
That's Terapagos.
That Shell Shock was
Uh,
Terapagos Miraidon. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
True.
uh,
We're workshopping it. You know what?
Yeah.
Every single time we have this discussion, the YouTube comments come in clutch with like 3 or 4 awesome suggestions. So I'm waiting. Comment down below if you're.
All right,
on YouTube.
well, also, let's
to-
challenge Twitch chat to
because
beat
of
them
it.
to it then. Come on, Twitch chat, let's go. I know that YouTube has a lot more time than Twitch chat, so that's not really fair. But anyways, let's talk about this team. So this team, actually, it didn't really... I would not say this is the first time we've seen it. For people that might remember
yeah,
from Melbourne,
Zin
Shohei used it here.
Yes.
and in a Victory Road, a friend of mine made the top 4 with it.
Yes,
in, the last Victory Road.
Yes.
Exactly. So we've seen this
And
one.
it was built by Joe, who, as we said before, has left the Zamazenta in his Regulation G team, basically.
Yeah. I liked that Shohei ended up putting the Chen Pao on this composition, because I think that it is the real the mon that ties it all together, in my opinion. It makes your Zamazenta, obviously a lot more threatening paired with the Chen Pao. There's the obvious synergy that we've seen in plenty of past formats, but I also think that Chen Pao and Miraidon is an excellent pair. It has that bolt beam coverage, so you can't switch in your Rillaboom as freely without getting Icicle crashed. So that's like a really deadly combo. And my issue with Ditto, one second here, is just my issue with Ditto that Joe had been using for a long time is that, and I was looking at Ditto on one of my teams for Milwaukee, but the problem with Ditto is that it's nothing consistent. It can definitely win a game by stealing the restricted, but it's just like, it's so much better to be able to know what you are bringing into the battle and game plan around it, instead of having to line up the left or the right side specifically or catch something on a lead. It's just, I don't know. I feel like
so you
Pao
only
is
have
reliable.
one repositioning move, like
Exactly.
Just team had double
Yeah.
repos move, so triple, sorry, because it has Choice Bender, Shifu, Miraidon, and Hands, which has Wall Switch.
Yes.
So Ditto was definitely way easier to use.
With Ditto, you were also kind of forced to play like ball switch on Iron Hands. That I don't think it's a move that you really want to play on this team. Like you have
I agree.
way better moves, like with Wild Charge, Rain Punch, Low Kick, Fake Out. But also, I would say that I find interesting that the last move on Chempa was Crunch. With this team, I would think that Taunt Chempa is one of the best like Taunt users.
Right.
I don't know. I think it could be something.
Like, Taunt is a pretty much situational, because the Crunch is just a strong stab. It's Kaldi Rek'Sai hard, and Kali also looks like a bit of an issue for this team, because you don't really have immediate damage to Kali Rek'Sai. You need to
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
You need to use set up Volcarona maybe, or use Zamazenta. So I think Crunch is good, and also you know, I something that I've seen playing in Bologna with Taunt is that sometimes there are monsters that are in range of a move from Champao,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to KO them.
Mm-hmm.
But with only Icicle Crash, you're basically risking to miss, and that's not really reliable because you know you could since you have Sucker Punch, you could lose a game because you needed to click Icicle Crash to do 20% damage to an Among Us,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
maybe lose because of that. So Crunch is a bit useful for that, and I think there is not really much difference between Taunt and Crunch. It depends on your matchup spread because the Crunch is really good against Lunala as well, for example.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
see.
Taunt can be good into
Okay.
Lunala too, though, right? To a degree, at
I don't
least.
know
Mm,
because Lunala never sets Trick Room up.
That's fair.
Well, it just usually does because of Ursaluna, but from experience of playing Miradon Lunala for the first turns in Miradon Mirrors, you just spam Moonblast and
Yep,
then set up Trick Room for later.
that makes sense.
yeah. Literally.
I think we actually see this team twice because it also managed to get top four here, falling just
Oh,
short
Oh
of making it to the
wow.
travel award side of things. But Adi was also talking earlier about Bingji coming on for a team report on the channel later, so that's going to be
yeah,
exciting to see because this team is quite different. Now, I mean, if you again were paying attention to Melbourne, as I talked about earlier, Bingji used
yeah, it's the updated version
four
of the
four of
team.
the same six. The Urshifu
Yes.
is a different flavor now. It was water over there, and then it was
Yeah,
actually an Amoonguss instead of the Annihilate, a different Pokemon that starts
yeah,
with A. I don't know. That's the role. No, Annihilate of course plays very differently than Amoonguss, and actually I should have grabbed it, but I think the team was posted on Bingji's Twitter. Regardless,
yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
it's kind of just like
yeah.
doing some wild stuff. I mean, we've seen enough Miraidon, Rillaboom on a couple of teams in this format. Not so much in Reg G, but here in Reg I, we've been seeing it a little bit more and more. To the point that it's not a huge surprise, but it's still cool to see it doing well. Like these double terrain teams letting you control the flow of the game in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also like it has some interesting sets because, for example, Terra Fairy Kali Ice completely destroys CSR Zama if you manage to cover it well. Because, for example, Gavin's team is really difficult for CSR Zama because
Mm-hmm.
you know you don't have any super effective move on Kali Ice other than Navislam, and Navislam has a very low base power. And so with screens plus Leech Seed, it's really hard to do consistent damage to Kali Ice. So definitely interesting. We also we also saw Terra Fairy Kali Ice in Regulation G, where when Zamazenta
Was
was
rising in
dominating the
usage.
meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Kaliais, Terra Fairy Kaliais was a good counter to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We are in
that
a similar situation, I guess.
I think the Rillaboom with Miraidon is the things that shocks me the most when looking at first at this team. But I think it's really smart. Like Miraidon often like has a really toxic way of handling the mirror, and like having your own Rillaboom and deciding yourself when to put up the terrain or when to not. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just very smart on Binji's end. I mean he's one of the best builders in the world, like ever in the BGC history, in my opinion. And like Annihilate Urshifu also makes like a lot of it covers a lot of checks. Like Urshifu cover Cloak Terrastellar is a pain for a lot of the teams in the meta right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this is just very smart overall.
I was about
Yeah,
to
also
crash out. Go ahead, Ruben.
Binji wrote that Analev was the MVP, which
Hmm.
uh
Mm-hmm.
which I
I
find
yeah.
to be the most interesting thing because I've always disliked the Anale Scarf Anale Pasamon itself because I know you have the self-destruct button that gives you can trade your knife for another threat for the opponent, but I think that wastes a lot of resources. But I'm curious for the to hearing the team report because I want to know what the matchups Annihilate actually comes in clutch because
Mm-hmm.
like where when is it actually useful to trade your Annihilate for another threat? And I mean I kind of get it in a restricted format because you are using you could be trading your Annihilate for a restricted, for example, which is a good trade.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That, yeah, I think
So
that's what it's all about.
definitely, Analytic is definitely an interesting pick, and I definitely watched the team report because I'm really curious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think the covert cloak on Urshifu is the one thing that that looks so hard to position. It's slow. It's got a little bit of bulk to it, but it's got so many weaknesses to so many common things in the format. And so to not even have a defensive Terra type, to just say
Yeah.
I'm going to position this guy and no speed control. I mean, trick room, but like really no speed control. And so you're just trying to fire. Like I don't know how to position that Pokemon. That looks so difficult to find its place on the field and to get an attack off. And so I'm very excited to hear about how Bing G approaches this because I think that he just thinks about the game in such a different way and comes up with all these creative ideas and creative game plans. And at the end of the day, I've been telling some people this and they're not listening. This is our double restricted format. It is so fundamentally different than what a lot of us think of like traditional Pokemon. You do not need to have uh guys that are like generically good. You need to have game plans. Like you need to have game plans into common matchups that you expect to see. And so if the answer to that is a Scarf Annihilate, even though it might not be the best, like seem like the best Pokemon, or if the solution to your matchup into your Miraidon matchup is putting a Rillaboom on your Miraidon team, and you only bring it in specific matchups, that's good enough. And same with I think the Covert Cloak Urshifu. I think it probably does do really well into a few specific teams that he was having trouble with, and together I think it all comes together in a way where he did really well with it. I don't really understand it, but I'm excited to hear about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I tried it out some myself, and I did find that the Urshifu, while it does like it is weird because it's like slow and bulky, it does live like 2 Terra Ghost Astral Barrages, and I was like, oh, that's actually really clutch right now because I didn't get to use my Urshifu to attack the Shadow Rider the first turn, or maybe it was like Sash, and so I just got to finish it off like pretty easily without having to worry because it couldn't KO me with the next attack. Yeah, just a really clever use of EVs and the item. I don't know. Covert Cloak is a cool item to really break these fake out spam teams that people are relying on, um, to keep the game like in control, I guess.
I'm very curious about the Darstellar now that you mentioned. Like, it's crazy that he's not Shash and he's not even Terra Dark. I know Terra Dark is like mostly the same weaknesses, but at least
Yeah.
it helps you sometimes. But Terra Stellar is just, I'm just going to use it to attack. It's very interesting. I'm going to be checking that team report
Actually,
for
I mean,
sure
in
too.
terms of this format, what does
Mm-hmm.
dropping your fighting type get you besides losing a fighting or flying
Bleakwing.
weakness? Fighting. Oh, sorry.
I
Flying.
was thinking about Bleakwing Storm, but
Yeah.
yeah,
What? I don't know. Is
mostly.
Bleakwood that common? I feel like I just don't fight Torn anymore.
Really?
It's funny because
Yeah.
it's like it's high in
Honestly,
usage, but I don't see it in.
it's
I
like
don't know. How's Torn doing?
it's rather that it's most likely that you're gonna take
19.
like a Moonblast from Whimsicott, I think,
Yeah.
Wait, can
or
Dark
a Dazzling Gleam
Terra?
from
Is it?
Rhydon, I think.
Wait, can it take those as a Dark type, like a solo Dark type? I just feel like it doesn't. I don't know. Calc was right. Maybe
Moonblast
later.
from Whimsicott, yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
take a
from
Okay.
Moonblast.
Whimsicott, yeah, Whimsicott does
Got
so
it.
bad
Got it.
damage, and it is also a lot of wood.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
with Terrastellar, you cannot survive that.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
But I
So
think Terrastellar is probably for like a Terrapagos,
Terrapagos matchup for sure.
uh, yeah,
yes, I
or
believe
also
it.
Zamazenta because it doesn't have any. immediate damage to Terrapagus and
Mhm.
Zamazenta. So I guess it's for that.
Yeah.
This one has some cool picks as well. It has the Ability Shield Pelipper and the Covert Cloak Ensign. I guess second team in a row that we're looking at that features Covert Cloak. Maybe it's the hot item right now, with Leftovers also being a really cool one that's picking up in this meta, just like in general. I think, yeah, Covert Cloak Ensign. We've seen some people use it here and there, but yeah, I guess maybe it gives you the freedom to run like a really slow Incineroar, really bulky one, and just say that, you can't actually fake out me. We're always going to trade fake outs at worst. Maybe?
But
I don't know.
at
Yeah,
the
I
same
don't know
time, you have
because
Taunt, so you
Yeah.
want to outspeed the other instants. I'm
Nah,
also
nah.
looking
I
at.
want to underspeed them so I can I can taunt them in
Oh,
Trick Room.
Oh, okay, okay,
You
okay.
get it. You get
yeah,
it.
but also like in my opinion, having like a faster instant is still more useful. I mean, there isn't really a correlation between down speeding or not, because in regulation G I was playing a min speed Incineroar, and like it didn't change much if they fake outed my Incineroar or the other mon, because if they fake outed my Incineroar and if they fake out my Incineroar, then our other companions just acted normally, and if they fake outed my companion, then we just trade the fake outs.
Right.
So, well, I don't know. I don't feel like trading fake outs and letting your companions act normally. There is no fake out because you exchange the fake outs between not because the opponents is your fake outs yours, so is that different. So I don't know. I don't like Robert Cloak personally. I just feel like Galgos and Rocky Helmet are just way better items.
Even Choppleberry, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Berry
I
is
don't know.
another interesting pick, even if it's really situational. Well, in this team, I don't think you need it because you're
Yeah,
already hating
not in this
Horizon a
team, not in
lot
this team.
with. You're already
As
hating
the
Horizon a lot with ability shield Pelipper, and that's a thing I like about this team personally.
Yes, I wonder
Mhm.
if they played any Weezings.
I,
But
I
yeah, I was
I
gonna say,
I
as
was
the only Cali Ice player in the call, it's like, guys, I need to have fake out counterplay sometimes. I know that you all run Shadow Rider now, and you're just not annoyed by fake out as much as I am. But sometimes I gotta have ways to deal with the fake out. So I'm totally here for these covert cloaks.
Yeah. We never Terra in front of no coffin Incineroar. Like
Mhm.
What were you
nobody is brave enough to click it. So
right? What
Yeah,
were you
unless
gonna
you have
say,
a focus
Victor? Before I
sash,
cut
right?
you off?
uh, I swapped teams in the Calyrex teams, but yeah, I was going to say the Steel Roller. I'm
Yes.
curious because he
yes,
doesn't have Ironhead. He has only Steel Roller.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's like I didn't see anyone with Life Orb. I feel like the other Life Orb threads I saw, they were with Ironhead. So that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
does Steel
But
Roller pick up an interesting KO like I don't know, CSR or something like that?
It's
Maybe
probably the
Kali
only
Ice.
way this Pokemon gets KOs, I'll be honest. Like, it is so
yeah,
weak. You
Yeah,
need that base power.
yeah, Crisis has like I think that Steel Roller maybe is to Hoko Kali Size, probably.
It doesn't.
uh,
It's
no.
just if
Oh.
you're max HP for
All
defense,
right.
it's just not very
All right.
reliable. Maybe
Yeah.
All
we
right.
could look at that one later too. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see. Another Annihilate here. In top cut Terra
Oh.
fighting, because like, let's not waste the Terra shards. We're never gonna Terra anyways. Um,
Substitute on
Iris,
Well,
Ho-Ho is
you
weird.
could Terra fighting.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna Terra?
You could Terra
You
fight.
want to hit close combats? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
close
want to
combat.
hit with those close
Ter-
combats. I'm down. Or
Terra
stab
Ground
coaching.
is also interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, that can be a
Terra
funny
Ground and
one.
Italy. Yeah, Sugi, an European player, played Terra Ground and Italy to Top Cut in Utrecht.
Okay, yes, I think I
So,
remember seeing that.
Yeah. Also, that guy was using substitute to Ho-Ho. I don't know if that's good because you usually want to switch your Ho-Ho because of your regenerator.
yeah.
Yeah, Adi, I also wait. You might be
Team.
pointing the wrong way on stream if that's what you mean. Yeah, there you go.
Ah, team. That's my Portland team.
Yes. I was like
I
looking
don't
at this and I
know,
was like couldn't remember 100%. I was like I'm pretty sure this is exactly Audie's team, but maybe I'm missing something.
No,
be
a
honest,
lot of the sets
you
are
could-
different. A lot of the sets are different, but the 6 Pokemon are the same, and I think the concept is the same.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I had a Mungus, not a Rillaboom. That was the difference. Yeah.
To
Yeah,
be honest, you
wow.
could
All grass
use
types look alike.
Among Us. You could use Among Us over Rhydon and have an even better Miraidon matchup than you would have with
Oh,
Rhydon, in my
wow.
opinion.
We got a ride on
Because like
here.
Among Us, Among Us, Rillaboom, Zamazenta, and Calyrex, Sash Calyrex are really good into Miraidon. So well,
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we're
feel
looking
that would
for
be even
Choi.
better.
Did Choi
That's
play
probably
against
true. That's probably true.
Much.
Choi and Rafi.
What
No.
were you looking
Oh wait,
for?
it was
No, you
I'm
didn't see the not
sorry.
playing the Weezing.
No. Weezing did
there's
not
two
play
of
against the
them.
ability shield. Oh wait, is there another one? Okay. Lai.
Yeah.
Did Lai play against Choi? No, they got eliminated early. And yeah, okay.
No.
No.
Haha.
No ability
Well,
shield
maybe
value.
in Swiss.
What
Yes.
is the Mega team? Wait.
Yeah, that was the last one we got to look at before we go and move on. But oh, that's mental. Whoa.
Whoa.
Look at
What am
that
I
Cali
looking
Ice.
at?
Whoa. Oh,
What am I
yo.
looking at?
Ah.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, like
Wow.
gravity hypnosis, and then
Gravity sleep powder, gravity.
It's funny.
I
I
don't
only
know.
learned yesterday that Shadow Rider gets gravity, and so I was like, "What are the fastest hypnosis users?" You could run it with Valiant, and it's funny because Valiant's like not even that bad a pick because it can hit the dark types for Shadow Rider pretty well. But yeah, it's kind of funny that, or you run like a Spothra or Yanmega with their
Yan
speed
Mega
boosts and hypnosis
can do that as well because it has bug bots.
and Air Slash. It hits the wait, no, that hits fighting. Whoops,
Yeah,
I'm
but
mixing it up.
also the problem is that Valiant is faster than the Kali
Oh, I was
Shadow,
thinking of
so
slower, like Covert Cloak, Valiant, and Sash Shadow
that would
Rider.
make sense. But like, if you use Yan Mega, you can do like hypnosis gravity on the first turn, and then get a
The
speed
second
boost.
turn.
It's
Yeah.
really cool. It's really cool.
That would be
I also
better.
I like Choice Band Groudon here. I used using Choice Band Groudon back in 2019. I got second at a tournament with that guy, and I don't know. I'm a Groudon hater. I think it's kind of like on the rise right now. Like I would not be surprised to see some strong players bringing it to NAIC. I don't know. I've watched friends play with it, and they just miss Precipice Blades left and right. I'm just like I don't know. I like looking Glacial Lance. I like knowing that my move's gonna hit.
Yeah.
I saw Junzi. If sorry if I spell it not correctly, but
Junshi, yeah.
Junzi. Yeah,
Junshi, I was using it, yes.
okay. Junzi, yeah, was playing like an updated version of Suika's Australian regionals team.
Right.
Mhm.
So I got one more thing. I got a flag about this tournament. I didn't realize this until just now, but the winner actually won the Premier Ball League back in regulation. I think it was H probably.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So they got a 3-round bye, which means they went 2-2 in Swiss, and then 1 out in Top Cut.
At least
Wow.
they finished the job at least, even if it wasn't the most impressive start. That's pretty funny. I forgot that it's 3-round bye. Meanwhile, 7-0 in Swiss, Edward Fan here.
Yeah, perfect Swiss scores, like just a classic.
Also, I did skip over that one, even though it's kind of a weird one. It's Smeargle Ice Rider with Decorate. Okay.
With that, yeah.
This is funky.
I like it.
This is okay because you can like make Terrapagus do immediate damage, I guess. I don't know how the synergy is, but if you can use Mirgo Calyrex, well, I guess you can use Mirgo Terrapagus.
Yeah.
I like that.
I looked up.
Then his name gets flipped around like all the other names in the paste description. I don't know. Maybe Fan is actually their first name, but I feel like Edward's maybe. I mean, is Edward the last name?
I'm more astonished by the Z. But it's like Edward Fun Z. No,
I know.
Fun
Where did the
Edward
Z come from? Where did the Z come from?
I don't know.
All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving.
Maybe it's
Edward,
because he is a Z move.
Oh, whoops! I forgot to grab these.
Edward Fan apparently is an old school player. He got shouted out in a has shouted out in like Aaron Trailer's 2011 report or something like that.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. I just looked him up.
That's
He got
based.
20th at 2013 Worlds.
Okay,
Yeah, he's a real old head.
that's sick. That's so
Ooh,
sick.
Yeah.
Nice to see he qualified, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool to have those type of players at Worlds. Nice.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that they make the trip out. But yeah, let's go ahead and I realized that I had the actual paste for the Hong Kong winning team, but I don't know. We already talked about it, so I'm gonna keep us moving because we got a lot of Bologna to digest here and break down. And so yeah, let's talk about y'all's runs in first, and then we'll kind of launch into discussing the tournament. So Ruben, starting with you, I do have your tweet over here. But yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about your team and your run?
Okay, so before Bologna, like 2 weeks ago, before the tournament, I was thinking of playing Terror Dark Calyrex. And well, that was because I was just the most comfortable with it because had been playing setup, Nasty Plot Calyrex for the entirety of Regulation G. And also at the start of the format, I was testing with other friends that were using a setup Calyrex. And so I had been testing a team with Incineroar and Rillaboom, Amungus, Karizama, and Bolt. And I was pretty comfortable with it, and I tried it out in a victory road. I went from 6-1 to 6-3 in day 2, which was definitely not the best result, but I still thought the team was decent because actually I also got I did really well with it on ladder. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as I made in the Twitter, I was on top 10 for I hit top 10 for like 3 times, so that was
Right.
my best result on ladder because I usually very bad on ladder, but well, I just locked in and managed to do well on ladder, so I was pretty confident with this team. And well, then I saw that Montana Mod was doing pretty well with with Sash Calyrex in Portland, and I also saw that people in Portland were spamming Sash Calyrex rather than the Terror Dark Life Orb one. So I wanted to try it out, and it felt really strong because in many matchups the Sash is way better than the Life Orb because you can still do good damage with Barrage using Terra Ghost, and your Calyrex can never die randomly with 1 hit because with Terra Dark Calyrex, for example, if you're in front of Lunala, there are some mind games about Terra Dark, so the Lunala can do like a Moonblaster or Moongeist, so you have to decide whether to share or not. There are mind games and other stuff like that. If the opponent guesses, then your Calyrex is gone in just one turn. And since Calyrex is pretty fragile, and most restricted can kill it in just 1 hit. I was trying the Sash and was pretty comfortable with it because it, as I said, they can never die randomly. They always need to get at least 2 attacks to KO it. So you're just comfortable with sitting with your Calyrex and spamming Barrage because if you are in front of a Lunala, you don't have to do mind games or something. You just you just click Astral Barrage and you're always fine because you're not gonna be KO'd by Munga's Beam. And so it was also easier to play against offensive teams, for example, Koraidon, because you just use your Kyrex and you can trade the damage with more offensive teams because with Targus Barrage you can do a lot of damage and you can survive at least 1 attack. So For example, even if Koraidon uses Flare Blitz, they need to double your Calyrex Shadow up, and that's huge because they needed to focus their damage on your Calyrex and not on the other companions. So
Mm-hmm.
that was really great into more offensive teams, and also random stuff. I call it like less meta teams that can be harder to face. So I think it was way more versatile than the Life Orb one, and so I really liked it. And also I saw that it had a better matchup spread because with Champo, there were many matchups that were really better. For example, um, the Kyogre and Kali Ice team was really good if you had the Champo because it did really well with its offensive typing against the whole team.
Right.
And Champo was also good into Miraidon teams. Like Miraidon for
Mm-hmm.
this team is a really good matchup. And like
Mm-hmm.
everything that was not screens, Calyrex Shadow, Sash Calyrex was better. So the only thing that was worse for Sash Calyrex was screens because against the screens, if you have a setup Calido, it's like it's so easy because you can just use Nasty Plot, Fake Out, and stack multipliers and just to go for helping and beverage and everything dies. It's just really easy to play against the screens with that version. With this one, it's a bit harder. You need to manage your attacks better. So you can see my top cut match against the team. For example, the green zone was very annoying because of screens because you cannot they reduce your barrage damage and you cannot do anything about it. Like you don't have helping and you don't have um nasty plateau, so screens was definitely worse. And that's because I also use the taunt on Champo because otherwise teams like Gavin's like their best is team
Mm-hmm.
are just Kali Ice. Literally, the Kali Ice and screens are just so hard for the team to beat. So I had to run Town Champa for that matchup.
No, that's a good
It
tech.
was like yeah, it was just it just felt so necessary. So I think that the Life Orb one isn't necessarily worse. Uh, it's just a different playstyle, but I think that using such Kyrax was generally better into a big tournament where you don't really know what to expect because every tournament there are always people with unexpected picks and teams. So I just went for what looked more versatile, in my opinion.
So, quick question: what would you say is like the most standout match you played in the tournament?
You mean
The most memorable?
the most memorable? Uh, Probably the top eight match against Shao
Mm-hmm.
because it was not the things that intense while choosing my plays. It was way more intense when planning because Volcarona was pretty annoying. It was like I felt that Lunala could do well into the early game against my team. And then Volcarona just cleans up afterward because if I lose Calyrex, I lose to Volcarona because I don't have any ways to deal good damage to it. My Champo didn't have Crunch, so that was a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
I lost game one because of that. Like it just went as I said because Adam managed to kill my Calyrex on the first turn. With he led Mirada Lunala and it just went for Vols with Mungeist. And so my Calyrex died in the first turn, and then I had nothing to for Volcarona.
Mm-hmm.
Second in the second uh, game, and I fortunately understood that I had to not to leave my Calyrex on the field too easily. So what I did was to lead the Kalizama again, like in game one, and he led the Incineroar Lunala, which was the standard plan, even if he went for a different game plan in game one. And so there, I thought that since I double up one of the two slots, he was like never going for Moonblast because um, if I switch in like my Mungus, for example, which was not unrealistic there because if I force out the Terra on Lunala, uh, then I can go for Avislam and then the Sludge Bomb later.
Mm-hmm.
So what was I expecting was mostly Fake Out plus Fake Out on Zama plus Mungus on Calyrex. So I switched out my Calyrex for Champo because I was not expecting Moonblast. And in fact, they went for Mungus Beam and they went for a knockoff, doubling the Calyrex, which was a pretty aggressive play. While my Champo survived. And then on turn two, uh, I guess that like my standard play was like a body press on Incineroar and maybe an attack with Champa like taunting the Lunala, but I went for the opposite. So I taunted the Incineroar slot because if since Incineroar didn't have Flare Blitz, it couldn't have done anything if it stayed on the field. Miraidon switch in was pretty unlikely because if I go for body press on the slot, it just takes 90% of its health and it's not a good switch in. So I thought it was going to switch in Volcarona, so I went for Taunt on Volcar on the Incineroar slot
Mm-hmm.
where Volcarona entered, and then I went for Heavy Slam on Lunala again, and uh, and so he switched the Volcarona on Incineroar. I got a Taunt on Volcarona, so it could not do Rage Powder or Tailwind. And then Evislam Lunala that under Sword of Ruin did a ton of damage, and so I put it in at a very low health, so in the range of Astral Barrage. And then the Shao killed my Shampoo, so I could enter with Calyrex Shadow. And it was like the perfect scenario for me because then I could just freely click Barrage and Lunala died. Volcarona couldn't do really anything without its status moves. So yeah, there I won just by spamming barrage, and uh, and
Mm-hmm.
it
Like a
was
good CSR player.
yeah,
Yeah, I
huh?
know.
Like a good CSR player. You won by spamming barrage
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point.
I just the first turns were what mattered the most.
Of
In
course.
game three,
Mhm.
I came up with a good plan. So I led um Kali Shadow Among Us against Miradon Lunala because I guessed that it would have been the lead he would go for.
Mhm.
Because it was really good. They could threaten us, Snarl, and reposition. So Among Us lead threatened the Spore, like because of Rillaboom switch in plus Spore. So
Mm-hmm.
since Lunala couldn't protect, so he couldn't go like for protect and plus an Incineroar switching because his Incineroar had taunt, so he could taunt my Among Us if he went for Incineroar. And so Lunala couldn't protect, and I thought that well, he's probably going to reposition in front of Spore because he cannot protect it because I can anchor Lunala. So he needs to switch out Lunala for Incineroar and then go for Wall Switch in order to reposition. And if my Spore goes on the Lunala slot, then Safety Goggles Insane takes it. If I win the mind game and I Spore the Lunala that was switching it that was switching in after Wall Switch, then I have Relabum and Among Us on the field that are not really oppressive. You know, I don't have much offensive pressure on the field, so it goes well for Shao. So I just thought, well, it's probably going for that play because it's like the safest one. So I just go for Rich Powder and Terra Barrage because if it does that play, then I just win because
Mm-hmm.
he did that play. He switched out Lunara for Incineroar and went for Wall Switch. So Wall Switch went on Among Us and then if Volcarona entered, then Volcarona, which was basically his win condition against my Zamazenta, would have died for a second barrage later.
Mm-hmm.
And if it switched the Lunala in, it just died. So it switched the Lunala died, and I basically won turn one because I forced them to do that the specific play, and I countered it. And that was also I also did that in top 16. In game 2 of top 16, I was up against Santiago Molina, which was the guy I played on stream in day 1. So it was a rematch. I won game 1. So
Right.
since my opponent was playing very safely, and well, I was it was like I was 1-0, so it was probably not willing to risk much.
Yeah.
He led Miradon for Rigiraf. I led Kali Shadow plus Champal. And since was threatening the kill on Miradon to 1, Miradon is his win condition, so if I kill it on turn 1, I just win. So it was just going to do a Incineroar Switching plus Trichum, I guess. And so I forced him to do that play because I was 1-0, so he was not willing to risk, and I did the taunt on Farijiraf and switched the Zamazenta in. And well, he went for Incineroar switch in, and then I was in a godlike position because he could not really do anything. Like Miradon, sorry, Champa and Zamazenta at that point could just click attacks and do a lot of damage
Right.
to its team. So and Farijiraf couldn't do anything. So uh, those two matches
Right.
highlighted the importance of planning your plays ahead of a game, so you can force your opponent to do some plays, even especially if you know that your opponent has a certain playstyle. Like those two were rematches because it was like the third time I play against Shao.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew uh how he played generally. He plays very safely, very solid, like
Right.
just a solid player. So well, I just forced him to do a safe play and then I countered it. Same thing for Santiago, but that was especially I saved it for game 2 because I won game 1, so it was like it was under a lot of pressure.
No, that's a good way to do it. Absolutely, to kind of condition them that way. Um, I'm going to keep us moving here because I want to talk about some of the other teams as well as Victor's here. So, um, Victor, you ended up making it into the top cut. Unfortunately, I think getting knocked out in the first round of it. But using the
Yeah.
other type of Shadow Rider Zamazenta stuff, the Life Orb Terra Dark, as we were talking about with Nasty Plot. Why don't you tell us a little bit a little bit about your team?
For sure. I mean, Ruben already talked a lot about the difference between Lifer and Shash. It's one of the
Yes.
first things that you have to decide when you are playing a team with Calyrex, Shadow, and Thama, in my opinion.
Yep.
Honestly, I couldn't test a lot for this tournament. I had exams since the day before my flight. Um, so personally, I was like thinking comfort, and in my locals, I have been playing Terrapagos and Calyrex Shadow plus Thama. So like setup kind of stuff with Incineroar. And honestly, I think Terrapagos is just like way worse than Calyrex Shadow, at least at this moment, or at least like the Incineroar builds. So first thing I tried, it was the Calyrex Shadow Thama Rila Incin Rainbow and Amungus, and I really liked it actually. Like I think like that team is pretty solid. You have a lot of great mons, and it's true what Adi said before, that this format is not only about playing good mons together and saying "Meh, that's it." Um, so what I was feeling is that I needed a mon for the mirror.
Right.
It was difficult because I don't think the mirror of Calyrex Shadow plus Samacenta can be solved by a single mon. But at the same time, I was like, I think I'm not bringing Amungus that much, and I think I could have another fake out on the team. So Smeargle came up in a conversation, and I
Two
was
fake
thinking
outs on the
like,
team, and it's like I could use one more.
yeah, like Smeargle came up in a conversation, and I was like, why are we ourselves not playing Smeargle? And the conversation was, okay, but where do we put it? I think putting in the Raging Bolt slot and even like putting Ogre Fire plus Smeargle is just like so many supports. Like playing Protect the Tower a bit too much maybe in some matchups. So I just put it in the Among Us slot, and honestly, I feel like it was really really good because not only did it help in the mirror, that it did for sure, it helped like the bad matchups to become way more winnable. Like,
hmm
I don't know if we can see my run, but
Oh yeah, let me grab that.
there were a few teams that I feel like I had a weird matchup into. I don't know if I would say bad. I think I would. That were like, for example, Ross Stewart team, and yeah, I feel like this team, for example, it was pretty hard to play into for my team. It did have Jugulis, it did have Kyogre. Icy Wind Chempa was crazy into my team because he can just like Icy Wind and then be faster than my Calyrex. And it may sound a little bit dumb, but like having a Smeargle is the way I won this matchup. I had to make really, really greedy plays to win, but at the end of the days, it gave me odds to win. I
hmm
did have to wildcard into the Icy Wind in game 2.
How goofy.
And he could have just sucker punch my Calyrex, but he didn't, fortunately. And yeah, and Jacopo de Atis also, it was his first tournament,
Oh really?
round 6. Yes. It was his first tournament that he ended up in CAT as well. And
That's
honestly,
awesome.
it was a very, very interesting team. Yeah, a very, very solid team. Well, I don't know if I would say it's solid, but very interesting. And I feel like I didn't have a great matchup into that either. And I think without the Smirkle, this was almost an auto loss. Like Among Us just don't have the same pressure. Like having fake out and then having follow me and spore is what makes Smeargle such a great support. And also like having focus charge there is just so much pressure.
So yeah,
So
Smeargle raises the floor of your
yeah,
team
so
basically. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I want to say. Most what one run that I have to highlight is also my round one. Look at
Oh,
it.
I did kind of
I
gloss over that.
yeah, I see my phone and I see Luca Cervelli. Well, he's a great friend. It was definitely the funniest round played, and it was so interesting. I wish we could have streamed the first round
Right.
because it was so cool. It was so cool, and also it's a great matchup. But
Mhm.
yeah, like it's a great matchup. I mean, it's a great like it's a very skilled matchup in my opinion. Like we both can do a lot of things, and it came down to a role. I feel like he had a favorable role and he got it. Like he had higher chances than me, and he won. He played obviously very very well,
Mhm.
and I'm always glad to play such a strong player. And yeah, I feel like my team is very basic. It's very European, as you guys can call it.
100%.
Um, I did think I cooked something with the Smeargle though. I didn't see
Yeah.
Smeargle that much into these teams. But it is also true that, for example, my top cut matchup, as you if you saw the stream, it was quite harsh. But it is true that Ruben won against Justin, so we can see like
Yeah,
how the different stuff, how the Sash Calyrex, for example, definitely with Sash Encore Calyrex, it would have been a little bit easier.
Mhm.
Yes, but this is the matchup I saw. I saw on Saturday when we ended. I saw all the X1, and I said, okay, this matchup is the one I don't want to face.
Mhm.
It is a little bit sad because I was almost in the bye for top 16, and I was 2 spots away from the bye,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
had yeah. But honestly, I'm pretty glad at the tournament. I feel like I played really solid overall. I feel like the game one of my stream match was probably my worst played game of all weekend, but it was
me
quite
too.
nice. I think all my sets, I said it in my tweet, but I really mean it. Like all the sets I played almost were really exciting. A lot of game threes, a lot of reads. I'm liking this meta a lot more than Reg G. I feel it's more skill. It has more like, how do I say it? A skill, not level, but like if you have high skill, you are going to make good results than Reg G. And also like yeah, like double restricted makes the team building much more fun, and like the game balance also, in my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I feel
Let me
like
ask you
that
this though:
too.
do you prefer restricteds or no restricteds?
No restricted.
Let's go. Okay, at
I
least you have some sense. At least you have some sense.
I
Yeah.
prefer restricted personally. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy metas even without restricted,
Right.
but I feel like when you play restricted, you have a sort of point of reference when building a team. Like you just choose an archetype,
Yeah,
and
you just pick
you
the
can
strongest two, and you put the strongest things around it.
yeah.
Yep.
No, yeah, you can just it's easier to identify good cores and build them, and
Mhm.
it also rewards creativity more because if you are gonna support your restricted better than other people, then you're gonna have you're gonna be stronger. Yeah, your team is gonna be stronger. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just like that. I just like
Right.
restricted more
So
personally. So
the we haven't actually covered the winning team
the
yet. I feel like
only
we have. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I feel like I've talked enough about this, but technically there's some
yeah.
different things here. It is kind of funny to see taunt on both of your Chen Paos, as well as several
Mhm.
others. It was a bit of a breakout tournament for that set. Taunt on 10 of the 42 that earned championship points is a pretty big showing for it. And
all, all of the
go
all of the top 8 champions had Taunt.
Gosh,
Yeah.
That's pretty
Um,
crazy.
and
like Max, and Mateos were Tarragos Sash. Mine was Life Orb. That was the only difference.
Hmm.
Like in
yes,
the Life Orb set, you often see Crunch more than
yeah,
Taunt or like Sacred Ward sometimes. Like I know Anya was using Sacred Ward on Life Orb Champa.
I
Okay.
So yeah, Taunt is way less common on the Life Orb set, but I think it was a good pick.
I'm looking at this one as well, and I feel like this archetype has really kind of like found its footing in the metagame. There's some slight
Yeah,
variations on the Calm Mind Lunala stuff. Sometimes they, I mean, I don't know. This one featured Volcarona and Urshifu instead of
yeah, like
Hmm.
Volcarona,
these.
the Volcarona and the Shifu variant was built by a group of friends of mine. So it
Right.
was Shao, Mava, and other good players who built that, and then apparently other French players, you know,
Yeah.
so the that core was successful and decided to build
Right.
around it as well. So
Oh
you
Yeah,
my
need
God.
I
Matteo
had
Ghisini and
a
Ballini, like
lot of Calm Mind Lunalas overall. I feel like
yeah,
it really found its partner, like Calm Mind
Yeah.
Lunala, like either Scarf Miraidon or Coraidon. I feel like it's just the best partner for Lunala. Scarf
yeah,
Miraidon, yeah, like really had a lot of. It had mainly two variants. Either like you're playing double fake out, like with a follow me and Grimson, or it did had other variant with like Volcarona. I feel like the Volcarona matchup, um, it was like very good into most CSR of
yes.
Thamas. Like Volcarona really makes the matchup a little bit more difficult. Um, but yeah, overall, like I feel like this is one of the archetypes that really. I mean, what is Europe going to discover? A team with Inthing Rila plus a common user, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, that sounds right to me.
Classic European stuff. Like
Yes.
in
Yeah.
in Italy, we all play balance.
Yeah.
uh, like
I
yeah,
I
all,
think
all
just
the
honestly,
all
the
of
dude,
the
the
I'm reading
the Combine
Pepe's
Lunala is
messages in the
such a good.
chat, and I cannot agree more. Adi, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I think Combine Lunala is a really good meta call for a tournament like this where there's so much Calc Shadow Rider because it is so good into. I thought it was really good in that matchup. I've had a really tough time playing against it when I've been testing different variants, and I know that I was talking to Giso a little bit, and he seemed like he thought the matchup was really was good for him as well. Between the Volcarona and the Combine Lunala, you have a lot of different tools that can be really hard to break. And so yeah, I do think this was like a pretty solid call for this event. It did quite well, of course, two in top eight. Another one that you see 10-1 in top 16, the first team in top 16. Um, so yeah, it really overrepresented in something that I think, especially if you expect to see a lot of CSRs Emma, I wouldn't be surprised to see this also see an uptick in success.
I
It's
don't know
just
because actually the I've seen the people who built the team complain about a bit about the CSR Zama matchup being like a bit too random
who
sometimes,
isn't
but
complaining about their
well,
Shadow Rider Zama matchup being a bit too
For
random. I'll be
real.
honest. Like,
Yeah,
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 you
yeah,
either
like
play speed ties or lose to it. That's your options. Sounds fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true actually. So like,
Speaking of Fede, though, in the
uh,
chat here, Fede did end up getting top 16, and it's just hilarious to
yeah.
me. I know that the team is nothing brand new, but these are the two same restricteds as the team we were just looking at, and the team could not be playing differently. Like it is just so, or more differently, I mean to say.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's such a switch up of play styles. Largely because the Lunala is different. Like specs and scarfs. I know some people do run specs at the Calm Mind Lunalis sometimes. Usually it's Scarf now. At least that's what's seeing the most success. But
Yeah. I
this
feel a
is
scarf
the
with calming is better.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
This is the version of like the Tang team that's like the one that's like sticking around the most now. It seems that at least I don't know, being used by such strong players as Fede, as Luca. I can't remember exactly how deep Luca made it. Here we go in 3.
8-3, yeah.
Yeah. So still very good, and yeah, it just I don't know. It annoys me that there's like 4 different variants of Shadow Rider Zamazenta I have to prepare for, and there's also 2 completely different Miraidon Lunala pairings that I have to prepare for. There's just so many different ways you can do it. But
Yeah.
yes, keeping us moving along though, we do got to talk about the ESM came up with the name, or no, ESM didn't. It was John Who that came up with the name when we were asking Shell Shock. I think Shell Shock is a good
Shell
name
Shock,
for this
yeah.
one.
Oh, such a good name.
Yeah, it
But
is.
yes, it looks like a
Now-
couple of players ended up running this. Go ahead, Adi.
Well, more than a couple players. There were, I think, 5 players, including Pato and Marco, who failed to make day 2. But then on the top end, you see the top 2 and slightly different variants. But then on the top end, you see the top 2 players making it to top cut. So a mixed bag of performances, and
Right.
it's hard to assess how good a team is when you see 4 really good players bring it and 2 top cut and 2 miss out on day 2 altogether.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, in my opinion, the main difference between run like Sebastianos and Chichots and the Marcos is that the first 2 were paired against Kalizama without Tinglo, and the Marco was paired against the Kalizama with Tinglo.
Yeah,
Because that team just has just so much, just a so bad matchup against Tinglo.
yeah. How
So
do you
like
win Tinglu with this team? Honestly, like
yeah, like with Iron Valiant, maybe you can do something because I mean you have close combat,
yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
you can deal a bit of damage. But if you play like
yeah.
Springtail like
Yeah,
Marco,
if you're
Tinglu is just
Marco, it's almost how to lose.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So Marco lost to a friend of mine that was playing
Hmm.
Tinglu. Uh, and he admitted he had played so bad. Like Marco played 100 times better than him, but
Yeah, but
he still won because the matchup was just too
That's
favorable for him
yeah,
because of Tinglu.
that is
hmm
tough to see.
But well, there were not many Tinglus, so the most of the Shadow Riders were Terra Dark Life Orb. So while this team was a good call, in my opinion,
hmm
because
It is
well,
funny.
it
They
just
all had such similar teams, but there's like differences between every single one of them. Like they all ran like very different. Like I just saw the Iron Treads were different
yeah, I
between those
mean.
2. Sometimes they have a different 6th Pokemon, different sets on the Pokemon themselves. I don't know. It's crazy that they all went
Yeah,
like
I mean, like
similar
in
but different.
let's just admit it. Like this match is a bit of matchup based, especially when you are playing such a team because that team is. I think that team is basically a sort of counter team to Kalizama and Miraidon.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
So
Yeah.
it was a bit of a matchup fishing team, maybe. I don't know the team well, but looking at it from my
Ch-
perspective, it looks like that.
I'm gonna
Talking
have
to
to.
Chicho,
So.
yeah, talking
Huh?
to Chicho, he really felt well about the team. Like he
Oh yeah.
like before his top 16 or top 8, I was telling him like you're playing Terrapagus, you're playing like a Trashman, and he was very confident in saying like no, I found it, I found that how to make Terrapagus work.
Yeah.
I was like okay. No, he did top 8, but
Good
I
for
Right.
him.
found it
Yeah.
funny. I found it funny.
Good for him. Yeah. But
And
well,
did you guys
I
see
think
that
that
pop
when you are
off?
playing a team like that, I was saying that it depends a lot on your run, because my team, for example, was trash in the mirror match, and it was full of Calidos and Mazentas, and I dodged
Mm,
all of them basically. And then that was like my friend Stefano, who played 8 mirror matches in a row.
wow. Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not wrong. I think I
yeah.
see 7, but like not to like really fact check them, but that's still 7 is nuts. 7 is
Yeah.
insane. What?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, he
What
had
it
an insane run. At the end of day 1, he told me He told
Or
me
6-3,
I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to play mirrors anymore. I'm so tired of mirrors.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
But hey, they
god.
went 6-1. They went 6-1 in the mirrors, and I guess they lost in top cut in the mirror as well. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
6-2.
he
So
lost due to accident because Matteo got a crit on game one on Stefanos Carvex and then got a T-Bolt Para.
You cannot
Game
win
two.
a Shadow Rider Zamazenta mirror skillfully because it will always come down to a speed
Yeah.
tie, and that's just
Nah,
hacks. Yeah, it's not
nah.
possible.
No, it won uh it won in a fair way in the finals against me, but it was big.
You can say it was hacks.
Yeah,
Just say it was hacks. Just say it was hacks and write it off. Forget about it.
I don't know how much it was actually.
It was
personally.
also like I feel like in the finals the matchup was not in your favor at all. Like
Yeah, but I made a lot of mistakes though. So well,
Mhm.
it just deserved it. So I'm pretty fine with that.
mhm.
I have a
I
quick
made worse
question.
stats this year. So yeah.
Yes.
So the Porygon 2, I saw it on Julio's team originally, and we see it here now. I'm still kind of
Mhm.
confused what it's doing. Do you guys know the answer?
Hello.
No.
So I talked a bit with David Carrer, which was the other one that was using this.
Right.
No, so he told me that Polygon 2 is mainly for the Carvex Zama matchup.
That makes sense
So you
somewhat.
cannot. So you can see like he's Terra flying because of Zamazenta and as a Shadow Ball for CSR. So I think that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
It just he uses Pichu and the Insha modus. So I think that's fair.
No, that makes sense.
But
Like flying is one
also,
of
but like
the.
this
Go ahead.
team is another team that struggles a lot against Tinglo.
No. Oh no, dude. These team loser farming. But yeah, the Porygon 2, yeah, or sorry, Terra Flying is what I was gonna say, is like the underexplored Terra for countering Shadow Rider Zamazenta. Like you see a bit of Bug, because that resists Body Press, and you see a bit of Fairy, because that also resists Body Press, and neither of those are weak to Astral Barrage or Psychic or anything like that, so you don't get yourself into a
Yeah.
bad spot. But flying, I guess it also does that. You just don't really see it as often.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, it doesn't have as
Yeah.
many resistances that are helpful besides body press, I guess is the main thing. We don't have as much ground coverage in the format. There's some, but
Yeah, I when I'm looking at typings, I always say, ah, this could be terrifying, and I always end up saying, why should it be terrifying and not other Terra, you know?
yeah.
But like Porygon is the one that you need like the defensive Terra with that also needs like good offensive Terra. So it's like the perfect
Yes.
mon for it to Terrafly. I feel like it's smart.
No, I mean that
Mhm.
makes
Yeah,
sense. It'll take
Terra Flying was my favorite. To be honest,
right.
in the Reg Age, you needed the Terra Flying because otherwise you just lost to King Gambit
It was
100%
a
of the
different
time.
format then, of course, of course.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so but like in other formats, flying was just my favorite one.
Right.
Yeah.
Poison was also nice, but flying was just
Ah, no, no,
the
no.
best one.
Flying was so much
Ooh,
cooler.
do got to talk about this one. I'm trying to if there's any teams that we haven't talked about yet, do mention them. I forgot about this one from Nikita. This is
Yeah,
so
What?
crazy, so cool.
he
It's
is using as different. Like everyone was using Asar Barrage. He was using Bar Barrage. Like
true, different Mirage.
that was just so
I
base.
I don't
He
know
was
what
using the
that move
original
does.
Barrage.
I see.
True.
I see. Sorry, with the Tiglu conversation, I see Carlos in chat say who went 8-3 with it, saying Tiglu makes the matchup come down to sleep turns to dog shit mon just watching paint dry simulator. It's crazy because I was sitting here listening and I was like, wow, like Tiglu's kind of cracked. Everyone's so scared of it, no one can beat it. And here the people using Tiglu are like, nah, don't use this mon.
No, yeah, I don't like Tinglu because even if it's cool in the matchup, you can the line that says
Yeah.
that the opposing Pokemon avoided Sand Tumble comes up way too often, and so it underperforms a bit. But like
No.
I feel like Tinglu is a sort of matchup fixer, so There are some matchups like Terapagos that where Tinglu is cracked into, and but overall I was more comfortable with Rillaboom because of my playstyle, so I just went for it.
Yeah, I don't know Tinglu. I don't like Tinglu at all either. Like
Yeah, I do.
I was, I helped a little bit Carlos, and I said to him like, don't run Ting. Like no, wait. I don't know if I said don't run Tinglu, but I definitely said that Tinglu is not the best mon. Like
Yeah,
I don't
like
like Tinglu as a mon.
my thinking process was like, okay, there's 1 week to prepare for Bologna, so like what do? I ate Tinglu because when I was playing Regulation C, I just hated that Pokemon. It was like so bad. It didn't feel good playing. It's just like way underwhelming when I was using it. So I just went for and I also said, okay, I'm not used to Tinglu. But I am used to Rillaboom. I guess I just click Fake at Barrage.
What? There's a
Yeah,
Torterra on my
yeah.
screen.
Torterra also made the day too.
It made it to
I
day
didn't see
2.
that.
And I kept asking because I was
Yeah.
like, it does look like a chestnut would be better. I know, that's like crazy. Wow, like picking another
Not
Shipmon to replace a
crazy.
Shipmon, but yeah, Torterra. I think it was a bet. That's what Michael was telling me. MDB
Uh,
was saying that there was a bet
Oh.
that they had to use Ting Lu at this, or
oh,
not Ting Lu, Torterra at this tournament, and yeah, I
Good
think one of the
Brandon.
Torterras made day 2, so kind of based.
oh yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Uh, I think that yeah, maybe Torterra is better than Chestnut because of the ground type, so you can just be immune to
Hello.
Miraidon. Also, Chestnut is fighting type, so Dazzling Gleam just destroys it.
But it gets
Mhm.
wide guard. That one gets wide guard.
And also, yeah, but no, but also, you know what's the insane thing about Torterra is that you cannot crit it with Urshifu because it has shell armor. So
Yes.
it beats Urshifu.
Yep, it does. It
That's
does.
insane.
Set up those screens
Yeah.
and then just take a regular old surging strikes for like, I don't know,
Yeah,
15%. You'd be chilling.
Oh my god.
it would have been insane to if this guy was playing like a double listed like Kalias and Torterra.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think that might be it for some of the teams. Obviously, 7-4 is still a solid enough record, but we're kind of getting down here. And yeah, I think we're gonna get close to wrapping this one up. So I think we will have enough time to do some Calc is right. Let's go ahead
Okay.
and
Okay.
let's do it. And I'll do a Torterra Calc to start us off here.
Oh no.
So
What's the base attack of that mon?
I'm not. No, don't worry. We're gonna do a defensive calc, so you have to know how well Torterra
Oh.
takes the hit. Let's just do.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Let's do, since we were talking about surging strikes. Let's do the Wicked Blow guy. Actually, let's do just a regular old adamant Urshifu Dark,
Mm-hmm.
going for Wicked Blow into a Torterra. The Torterra, there's not gonna be a calc default set, is there? No way. All right. The EV spread I will give it is just max. Let's just say just max HP, but reflect is up.
Max HP reflect is up,
Max
Max
and
HP
HP.
Torterra reflect is up,
Urshifu is not quitting. No, but
Okay.
okay.
Wicked. Wicked.
and the ability is
Wicked
shell
blow.
armor.
Sash. Adamant 252.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not it
Okay.
didn't
Okay.
Terra Dark or anything. It's just a regular Wicked Blow
it's
into.
it's not Covert Cloak
How
Stellar.
many defense? How many defense Torterra has? I don't know that.
We're doing. Oh yeah, I don't know this. I can't tell you the stat.
No.
That's the fun part. I'm not going to tell you the stat, but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I
exactly.
feel.
no
Okay.
EVs.
That's
I
the
feel.
other.
I feel Torterra has more defense than special defense, in
Yeah,
my
I
That
opinion.
sounds right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the
Yeah.
It's got a
rules,
shell.
guys, of course, when you are ready, just say that you're like locked in, and I'll call on people.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, no electric, like no boosts or anything, right?
Oh shit! Was it Electric Seed?
Or
Right?
only reflect. Yeah, it was electricity.
Oh, then yeah, give it Electric Seed too. Yeah, sorry,
No,
let's
no.
change it. Electric
Ah,
Seed,
Okay,
Electric Seed, and
it's not going to
Reflect.
do anything. It's not going to do anything. Okay, electric seed reflect is going to do. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a
And-
number.
Okay.
I'm ready.
17%.
Well, 17%. Okay,
13%.
13.
13.
Adi.
I have a little more belief. I'm going with 20%.
All right.
I have
Urshifu.
zero belief.
I believe in
Dark.
Torterra.
Yeah.
Make this max.
It's an adamant. It's an adamant Urshifu. Yeah, it's doing 20.
No,
All right, we have a
no, it's
105
not.
defense. It's only a 105.
105.
No, it's. I thought it was higher for sure.
You get the wrong.
I'm
you
not.
get the,
And I. What's up?
Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's just to
believe
get the wrong ability.
Yeah.
the big one.
I thought. Okay.
I did say no.
Reflect-
It definitely would have
No.
defense investment, but I just have no clue
9
what that
grasses
would
it.
even be. Electric seed and electric terrain and reflect.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Damn, I missed
Okay.
it.
It's looking like
Yeah.
11.3 to 13.8. Victor, you said 13, right?
I did.
And then Adi 20 and 17. So yeah.
Why is Torterra +2? Why is Torterra +2?
Whoa! What? Oh, you're right.
Good.
You're right. Oh no! Okay, it's
No!
actually
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
Ruben.
Yeah, I win.
Yes.
70%.
I forgot the electric
Ruben
seed gave it the +1. I could have just
Ah.
given it a +1. Whoops. Yeah, you almost got scammed out of getting it right. Good catch. Yeah. Okay. Who has the next one?
I've got one ready. No one else
Adi,
does.
go ahead.
Really?
Yeah. So we were just talking about this one. So I had to bring it up. So, let's say you have the misfortune of facing down a Tinglu, and we'll make it the Calc default Tinglu.
Okay.
Because I don't know what Carlos's spread was. So let's say I think I'm looking at the offensive assault vest on Calc. It's 100 HP, 0 defense investment.
Okay.
And so you have the misfortune of facing this down as the Miraidon Terrapagos player, and you have one way to kill it, and that is of course your Iron Valiant. How much does 4 attack Jolly close combat from Iron Valiant do to this Tinglu?
Did it have it, or are you just giving it close combat?
Oh.
It had it.
Okay.
That's a decent attack stat.
Yeah. No, it has a big attack stat.
Yeah.
Okay. I have an answer.
So what are we looking at? It's at we're like actually not very defense invested, sure, on this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we are not.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah, I have an.
I got my
answer as
number.
well.
I got my number.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Me too.
Adi, go ahead.
All right. I'll start with Victor. What you got?
77.
77. Ruben, what do you think?
60.
60. And
What?
Alex, what's your guess?
Split in the middle, 68.
68.
Wait, you're not believer in Valiant.
Valiant's
has so much
strong.
attack,
It
right?
doesn't have investment. Honestly, this Ting Lu spread, I swear, is kind of fake, and so it should take it better. Maybe I'm expecting it to be like defense.
Oh my god. What?
Wow. Wait a minute. We have the right nature? Yeah. No, I'm actually
Oh my
I
God.
nailed it. And wait, did
Ruben
yeah,
got it
Ruben, you also
too.
got
I'm
it?
so
You got
glad
60.
you
got
I expected a bit less, but well.
I expected
Alright.
so
So
much more.
it sounds like Carlos was saying he had FizzDef on his, and he said it would do 50 to his, but 60%, I guess, was his guess.
Okay.
Which tracks, right? He was in there too.
Sounds like I'm 1 for 1, Ruben's 2 for 2, and Victor is 0 for 2. This guy doesn't know anything.
No, oh my god. I like last time I came here, I think I got like 3 out of 4. I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse.
Adi, Adi, you just went. Ruben, do you have one, or Torviv, or Victor?
I don't have.
I don't have one. Like
Wait.
I'll let Victor choose.
Okay. I want Overquill to
Yeah.
Barbarage Rillaboom.
Okay, what
It's a
How
little
Rillaboom?
bit-
how many base power does Barbarage have?
You don't get to
I
know.
got
You don't
no-
get to know. You just you sat down. You got the
But
team
I-
sheet from your opponent, and it has Barbarage on the Overquill, and you are switching
Okay,
in your
yeah.
Rillaboom.
Okay, it's not poisoned. It's not
Oh,
poisoned.
sure. Yeah, that you do need to tell us that.
Yeah, it's not poisoned, and yeah,
Okay.
the sets I don't know. The basic sets from the calculate I don't know the sets.
Yeah, so we
Does
could probably just
Overquill
do
have a
Calc
set?
default Rillaboom then, but for the Overquill, you're gonna
Rillaboom
have
is
to
just
pick
like-
something.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
the
like
Overquill is 252 attack Jolly. Like, yeah.
Okay.
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 I,
Well,
I
you know,
don't know
I have
any
had-
base stat. I don't know any base stat or Overquill, to be honest.
I have had the misfortune of losing to Overquill at a tournament before.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
NASC.
So Yeah, I lost to
year.
Henry at NASU.
Yeah, Campola Street as well. I remember.
No. Okay.
Um,
I'm not sure at all.
I just remember that guy doing more damage than I thought it would when I played it. So
Yeah, but you played against
All right,
Life Orb
I've got a
Gunshot,
number.
right?
Oh, it was totally Life Orb Gunk Shot. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
not know
yeah.
Barbarage's a base power. Okay,
Okay,
I got my
okay,
number.
I
I
think,
got a
like,
number.
There's no multipliers, right? Yeah, it's just Jolly.
I
Yeah.
have an answer.
Okay, I have an answer as well.
Adi, how did you drop your
Okay.
mic and disconnect Torviv's camera?
And Victor disconnected.
Oh no, I did.
I don't know. We just see connected device running camo is what it says, but
Oh no.
that is so funny. All right.
Barbarage.
Barbarage
Yeah.
took out the camera. All
You
right. Well, if
disconnect
we're
my
all
camera.
ready, while you fix it, we'll start running it. So I'm just gonna Audi
Yeah.
you first, and then I'll go.
I think it's doing 75.
75. Okay. I had 65. I don't know. All right,
I
Ruben?
have 65 too.
Okay, then what? Then since I went first, you got to pick higher or lower. Do you want 64 or 66?
66.
66. All right.
Here we go.
Over Quill. Oh, we have Henry set, but it's
We have Henry's set.
actually it's pretty close. I only have to change 2 things. Jolly, remove the item. I'll also change the move. It definitely does not have Barbarage.
All right, how strong is
Does
Barbarage?
it?
Oh, God.
What?
It's 60.
No! Oh wait!
75.
Reflect
Oh,
is
no,
still up.
okay,
Reflect is
let's
still up.
try.
Wait, we didn't have reflect
Yeah,
up in the previous
no,
count,
it's
right?
not
I don't
doing
think we did.
anything.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Does this?
I
Oh, it has 60 base power. 60
I
base
really
power.
thought it was
I
75 base
guessing
power.
for like
This move is
I was
awful.
like for like 80. I was like guessing for like 80 base power.
No. When we saw Henry's team, the thing I searched is how many BP is Barbarage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was like, no, they're not going to get this.
Wait, so if it's poisoned, then it's the same power as Gunk Shot. Is that right?
Is it like Venom Shock?
Yeah.
It's like
If it's
physical
poison-
physical Venom Shock.
Venoshock, how many?
The same.
Many,
The same.
No, because it can poison. Venoshock cannot. And Venoshock
Oh, that part is different.
65,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, Venoshock is 65, not 60.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
All right, Ruben, do you have a calc?
Just hit your move. People will do
Yeah.
anything to not use an inaccurate move. Oh my god. Just hit.
So-
I don't get it. Just hit your Gunk Shot.
Yeah.
So I have Timid, Sash, Calyrex, Astral
Okay.
Barrage on an Eviolite Scraggy.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, you
no,
got to give the
no,
Scraggy
no.
a spread.
I don't have a Scraggy spread, so you can just make it 252 HP and 4 special defense and like
Eviolite,
neutral
right?
nature. Serious nature 252 HP
Okay.
and 4
Sounds
special
good.
defense.
and it's Eviolite and it's double target.
Eviolite.
Double target, hitting both.
Yeah.
All
double
right.
target.
And it's just a timid Astral Barrage. That's all it is.
Timid Astral Barrage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a number. I know this
No
one.
multipliers.
I got my number.
I think I got mine too.
Okay, let's start then.
Yeah, just
I
pick a person.
You pick
I
somebody.
think this thing is doing like this thing has like instant bulk, right? Probably. So I think it's doing like 30.
Okay.
Okay.
Victor?
I thought 26. I might be copy.
Oh. Okay. I'm right around you. I had 25, so I guess we're not duping, but I'm
Okay,
right
okay.
below you. All right. Let's see. Calyrex Shadow. I think.
It's a Calyrex Shadow though.
Basic
right?
Terraghost.
Yeah. Versus Scrafty. Nope.
Scraggy.
Scraggy. Max HP 4 or 5. 5 would work
And
too.
then
Yeah.
Eviolite.
Oh no! Don't do
Wait,
this to me.
Are we all in there? No, you were
No!
25.
I did 25.
Oh,
No! Come
Uh,
on.
why
Oh,
why does Calyrex suck so much, man?
oh, it
It,
does, dude.
it,
It's
what do
for,
you
so
for it
weak.
mean?
KO, for it KO on Scraggy, like
What,
bro.
bro, it's a scraggy Aviolite. Like,
Just
it
wait till
should
you see
do
how much
less.
damage it does to Smeargle.
Yeah, no. Like,
Um, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's going to do 100% to Smeargle, even though it's non-effect, like an
Yep,
immunity.
it'll just break through it. Shadow Rider does
Yeah.
kind of cheat. I mean, the fact that like Wheezing doesn't turn off as one is just so stupid. So stupid. Like, why?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this week on Tub Takes. Thank you to both of our guests here for being on. Congrats again on your finishes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Always a pleasure to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
So
also had a lot of fun talking here, being here for my first time. It was really a pleasure.
glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah, if you're here now watching this, but you didn't catch the beginning, or you prefer to watch these on YouTube, it is on YouTube tomorrow. So I just put it in the chat there. And yeah, otherwise, I guess we'll try to figure out who we're gonna throw you over to with a raid. But for now, I'm gonna just take us to the stream ending page, and we'll catch you guys next
Yeah,
time.
I
Have
Yeah,
see.
see
a
I see
you.
Swift
Also see you in your
LKE. We're gonna
race
send you
then,
over
I
there.
guess.
Let's all right. At the count of
Yeah,
three, all
Yeah,
talk
we'll
at
see
once.
both of you
1,
guys.
2, 3, go and talk and
yeah,
talk and yes.
We'll see both of you guys at NAIC. I'm really excited to see all of you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Sure, looking forward to
Wait, are
that
we still
as
live?
well.
Yes, we are. We are very much still live. I just
Okay.
said let's all talk at the same time because it's literally unlistenable.
In that case, we're sending you over to Swift LKE, who says VGC laddering Trans Pride. Happy Pride, everyone. Enjoy
Happy
to
Pride,
it.
y'all.
Looking forward to trans the parade.
Oh, I cut you off. It's the middle of that. Looking forward to that, and then I just hit. Whoops! I actually hit stream ending. All right. Oh wait, they were still hearing me though, because I didn't